Hi, my name is Asia Morgenthaler. I'm an artist, a mom, a wife, an intentional creativity coach, and a certified yoga instructor. I paint images of the feminine, and I look at painting as a modality for self-expression, healing, self-exploration, self-love, and self-care. Painting is my way of connecting with the feminine and ultimately connecting with myself and my heart. I offer intentional creativity workshops in Menlo Park, California, and I also teach yoga classes. And I want to welcome you to Soul Spa. I'll be doing a session focusing on listening to and opening your heart. So for many of us, we've learned to close our heart as a way of protection early on in our lives. Or we were taught to give preference to the voice of reason, the intellect, over the voice of our heart and our intuition. Our heart closes, it hardens, and the voice of our heart fades to a whisper. Today we're going to reconnect with the language of our heart. How do we gain access to our voice, our essence again? That unique voice that speaks to us, that speaks at the core of who we are and speaks to our singular truth. Some of you have probably heard of the phrase, open heart is the path of joy. I'm reminded of the Chinese translation of the word happy, hoi sum. The first character hoi means open. The second character sum means heart. And the two characters together, open heart, means happiness. So we have some important work here, and that's why we're doing this. The pursuit of happiness comes from an open heart. I'm going to be leading you in a visualization exercise before we start playing with paint. So grab a cup of tea or coffee, take a quick sweep around the house and pick up a couple of items that bring you joy. And don't think too much about it. Maybe put those items on your painting altar if you have one. Basically anything that makes you smile, anything that makes your heart flutter just a little, and anything that makes you feel good. So hit the pause button and return when you're ready for the visualization. Flutter your eyes closed when you're ready and take a moment to allow yourself to settle into your space. Give your body a moment to truly arrive. Feel your feet firmly planted on the ground and allow your mind to quiet down from all the chatter, and then just observe your breath. Is your breath deep or shallow, fast or slow? And just observe your breath for now and try not to change it. And once you have a baseline of where your breath is, breathe in a little longer and a little deeper. Maybe go for an equal count inhale and exhale. And if you're feeling particularly stressed, go for a longer exhale. And let's take a few more breath cycles here. So we'll start with setting our intention of opening our hearts, opening ourselves to joy and happiness. And breathe that intention in and visualize it permeating into every nook and cranny of your being, and repeat. I'm opening my heart, opening to joy and happiness. I'm opening my heart, opening to joy and happiness. I'm opening my heart, opening to joy and happiness. Now visualize a rosebud in front of you. The bud is tightly closed. Notice the sepals protecting and guarding the bud. What shade of green are the sepals? The bud is so tight that you can barely catch a glimpse of the flower petals underneath. Then you notice the sepals starting to separate. The rose petals are slowly emerging. The sepals relax and peel back. What color are the petals? Is it more of a jewel tone or pastel? Then you turn inward. Maybe you put your hands over your heart. You notice how fast or slow your heart is beating. And you tune into the rhythmic beat of your heart, tuning out any static that might be flooding in. How does your heart feel? Opened, closed, or somewhere in between? Remember, you're just noticing without judgment. practicing the art of observation, also known as meditation. Does your heart feel heavy or light? Does your heartbeat feel strong and rhythmic, or does it feel more like a flutter? What else do you notice? And you turn your attention back to the rosebud in front of you. It is still growing, and maybe it's pulsating a little. You notice the tip of the rosebud opening, the sepals pulling back further, allowing the petals to emerge more fully. The outer petals start to soften and open up too, creating space for the inner petals to come into being. And in turn, the inner petals become the outer. They peel back, further allowing for the innermost ring to surface. The process is one of beauty, of natural progression, without struggle, and there is a confidence in the transitions. You look at the opening rose. Maybe you notice the veins in the petals. You notice the color of each petal, the subtle difference in color. And you take a deep breath in, noticing the fragrance. You take another deep breath, allowing the fragrance of the rose to fill every cell of your body. You sense relaxation spreading from your lungs outward. And you take another deep breath, allowing your belly to balloon up, filling up with the scent of the rose, directing this opening energy to your heart. You're focusing on the breath and the rose, the two deeply intertwined. You're sending your breath to your heart. And on each exhale, you notice your heart opening up just a little more. The rose imprints itself in your heart. How would you describe this opening of your heart? Expansion? A softening? And you sense joy radiating outward from your heart. As the rose and your heart continue to open, you notice something at the center or the heart of the rose. You see yourself standing in the middle, at its core. The center is the source and inspiration for the rose, and you are at its center. The rose has to open to reveal what is at its center. Likewise, your heart has to open so you can shine. And you stay here in wonder for as long as you want, fully aware you can return to this opening of the heart as often as you'd like. You feel at ease. You're fully present in this moment of opening. And you feel a lightness, joy, expansiveness, and opening to possibilities. Turn to your thoughts and see what bubbles up. Then when you're ready, gently flutter open your eyes and free write or journal about this experience. Maybe turn on some music.